Hello.
Hello, is this Neil?
It is Neil. Who have I got there?
I've got Robin here.
Robin. How are you, Robin?
Good, thanks, Neil.
Not sure what's going on there with the phone numbers, but I was ringing and, yeah, you obviously weren't getting the call.
No, well, yeah, sorry about that.
That's all good. That's all good. Robin, are you happy for me to record this for our YouTube channel?
If you want to, yeah.
Excellent. No worries. Thank you very much. Now, your husband's Trevor.
Yes.
And he joined our group today, and he let me know that you had a sighting out at Yumali back in the 70s, I think he said.
Yeah, about 74, I think it would be.
Okay. You grew up on a farm out there?
Sorry. It's called Yumali.
Sorry, yeah, Yumali. It's on the Duke's Highway, I know that. I've been through there many times.
Yeah.
There's not much there.
Well, I lived there, so I thought it was a fair bit, but yeah, go on.
Well, if you go to Canalpin or Tintinara, there's a bit more there than there is at Yumali.
It depends on what you like to do, but yeah, go on.
So, no, you've got the con, love. So what happened? How old were you at the time?
I didn't even think about how old I was at the time. 74, how old I'd be, babe? I don't know, about 15, 16, something like that.
Okay. And you grew up on the property?
No, we moved there when I was 10. Yeah.
Okay, and how many years were you there for?
I left when I got married at the age of 21.
Okay. So, tell me about the day that you saw this unusual animal. What happened?
Well, actually, I was actually in the chook yard, duck yard that we had next to our kangaroo yard. We raised orphan kangaroos at the time.
Oh, yeah, cool.
And this animal walked past on the road, on our road, dirt road track. And I looked at it and I thought, that's weird. And I thought, oh, it's a stray dog. And then I looked again, I thought, no, that's not a stray dog, it's different. It had these funny marks on its back and it was a different shape and size to a normal dog.
Yep.
So I quickly jumped over a few fences because the yards were had trees between the track and the yard.
Yep.
And I sort of kept my eye on it for a while, and then I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So, and I told my father, and my father said, yeah, he's seen one before, many years ago. It sounded just like what he'd seen. But he was there when they first opened up the area.
Okay.
Back in the late 40s.
After the war, yeah?
Yeah. And, yeah, I was just blown away. I didn't know what it was. I'd never seen a bison until many years later when I saw one in the Kingston pub. Was it Keith pub, sorry. And, yeah, I was just blown away because I couldn't figure out what this strange animal was with the funny stripes on its back. Okay,
so take me back to the day when it happened. So what time of day was it roughly?
It was nearly dusk.
Okay.
But it was still light enough to see. I mean, It was, a sort of a day like today. I can't really tell what it's like where you are, but it was a little bit overcast, but it was still bright enough to see clearly.
Do you remember what time of year it was?
No, I'm sorry, I don't.
That's okay. And how far away were you from the animal when you saw it?
Probably about 5 metres, if that.
Right, so you're very close to it.
Yeah, the first sighting, yeah.
The first sighting, because you jumped fences?
I sort of tried to keep my eye on it that day, that's what I mean, or that for about half an hour.
So
it was just very slowly ambling along.
So describe what you saw. What did it look like?
Well, at the time I thought a kangaroo dog.
Yeah.
Right? That's more the shape of it, but it was slightly stockier, with these weird stripes on its back. They're chunky stripes at the side and thin to a narrower point towards the ridge of the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a dusty browny beigey colour.
Okay, so like a fawn sort of colour.
A little bit darker than that, but yeah.
Okay. And you sort of compared it to a dog, but you didn't think it was a dog.
No, it didn't look like a dog, really, no.
But it was that general sort of structure of a dog where it's a four-legged thing walking along.
Yeah.
And you've obviously seen plenty of foxes out that way over the years.
Yeah, it was definitely not a fox.
If you had to describe it as in comparing the size of it to a breed of dog, how big would you say it was?
Yeah, that's a hard one. It was definitely not as tall, probably about as tall as a Labrador, but a heck of a lot thinner.
Yeah.
And near that shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, whatever. Okay, sorry. I was saying it's wrong, but okay. Yeah, a bit smaller than a lab, yeah.
Okay. Was it very long or short? Was there any...
It was longer in length.
Yep.
Yeah, so, as I said, it just blew me away because it was so different to anything I'd seen.
So you said you were jumping fences. Was that to keep an eye on it as it was walking off?
Yeah, yeah.
How long did you have eye contact on it for in total, do you think?
Oh, probably only about 10 minutes, but yeah, it's very hard to explain. It was so long ago. But, yeah, it was about 10 minutes I had a decent look, and then I saw something in the trees later, but I didn't see whether it was that same animal at the same time. But there was no sheep, no cattle, nothing in that particular paddock. So, yeah.
And did you have any other encounters with it or anything like that on the property?
No. That was my one and only time I'd seen it. So
was there anything about its locomotion that got your attention at all, or it just walked along pretty normally?
No, it was a slower moving animal than a dog. It was sort of more stealthily moved, more like a cat's movement than a dog's movement.
Okay.
But it wasn't a cat.
Yeah. Did you tell what did your dad say to you at the time when you mentioned it to him?
Oh, he said, you've seen one too, because he'd seen one, as I said, many years previously.
Yep.
He said they were around here at one stage, and I thought, oh yeah, sure, Dad, rubbish. But yeah.
Even though you'd seen one yourself.
Yeah.
And what about with your? Did you keep stock on the property in the end, sheep and cattle, or?
We had sheep and we had cattle, yeah. Did
you have any unusual kills of any of your stock at any point in time?
Not that we noticed. You had the animals go down and you had the losses, and they were eaten by carrion, but you didn't sort of pay any attention to
what was eating them.
What was eating them, so...
Any kangaroos around there that you found that were missing body parts?
Not in my kangaroo yard, no.
No, but in the area in general.
Well, my father would not have told me that because I was very pro-kangaroo, and he would have known I'd cried my eyes out.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Your father's no longer with us?
No, unfortunately.
How long... So the property's no longer in your family?
No.
Okay.
But you'd see it if you passed down that way. It's got a big white tyre with green hills on it.
Okay, I think I know the one.
Uh-huh.
Is it on the left when you're heading east? Towards
yes.
Melbourne?
Oh, sorry. When you're heading east, it's on the right.
Okay.
The train line's right in front of it.
Oh, yeah. I know where the train line is there.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a hot spot for the coppers with their radar guns along there.
I would believe it.
Yeah.
I remember at one stage someone grew some whoopee weed down by the train line and got caught by the police. So,
yeah, well, who knows what they were seeing, hey?
That's right.
Okay, so, all right, well, thanks very much for that. Obviously, it's a long time ago, so you don't remember huge amounts of detail, but
Yeah.
every sighting's got its, merits.
Oh, that's right. Well, yeah. As I said, I honestly didn't know what it was at the time.
Yep.
And it was only Dad said what he thought it was and said that what I'd seen. But it was only years later that because I think that's the Keith pub has got, or did have a one in a glass cabinet.
Right.
And it looked so much similar to what I'd seen that I thought, okay. But yeah,
that animal that you're talking about that was in the Keith Hotel is now in that little museum in that old church.
Oh, right.
When you go through Keith, I know the animal you're talking about because I heard tales about that. It's not actually a thylacine, it's a warrigal.
Oh, okay, warrigal.
And a warrigal is basically just a wild dog of sorts that used to haunt Narcat. And they had doggers out there in the 60s and 70s and right up into the 80s that were still hunting down wild dogs. But there was also New Guinea singing dogs found down that way as well, which is like a dingo but slightly different.
Right.
So, but yeah, that warrigal, I've got photos of it because I thought if there's a thylacine in a fish tank somewhere, I need to see it.
Oh, no, Trevor just said it was the Tintinara one.
Tintinara, okay.
Or a tiger. Yeah, Tintinara tiger, I reckon, sorry.
Okay.
I spent my later youth down there. Yeah. I won't go any further, but okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I was going to send the photos and say yes, it was or not. What you saw.
Oh, okay. My husband suggested you send me some photos, and I can say yes or no with what I thought I saw.
Okay, no worries. That's cool. I'll send them to your husband via messenger. That'll be easier.
Yeah, they'll get to me that way. I'm shocking with phones. Sorry.
That's all good, love. No worries. Awesome. All right. Well, look, thanks very much for your time, and I'll try and find those photos of that warrigal, and I'll send them through to you, and I'll send you some photos of thylacine, and you compare them, and you tell me which one you reckon you saw.
All right. No, just don't write what they are, though.
No, that's all good. That's all good.
So, okay, no worries, mate.
All right. Thanks very much for your time.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.